Well, I don't want to come off the bench is not a personal issue. Well, I don't like my role.
DeWanna Bonner, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split ya. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Wade veteran DeWanna Bonner, the team announced. Indiana looked at trade possibilities for the six-time All-Star who had not played since June 10th for what the team called, quote, personal reasons. Well, the personal reasons were, from what I could tell, playing time is what I knew.
DeWanna Bonner signs a free agent contract with the Indiana Fever. And after a handful of games, wants a Fever exit, apparently. And that is a strange situation, right? Because she was embraced. She had her achievement at the beginning of the season, moving up the scoring ranks. They were referring to her as Mama Bear in training camp. And now all of a sudden that has fallen apart. She was out of the starting lineup, hadn't really produced that much, particularly on the offensive end. And this, looks poor on the franchise when it comes to the free agent moves in retrospect, the team that they put together in the offseason. I don't think it reflects well on DeWanna Bonner, whose absence was for quote unquote personal reasons, but now it seems like she was just upset with the team in the situation overall, and it adds more drama to what has been a drama-filled season for Caitlin Clark in the Indiana.
Imagine signing up for a dream role, a chance to guide a young team, only to pack your bags and run home crying a few weeks later because, well, you didn't like your seat on the bench. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, that's exactly what just unfolded in the WNBA. And it sparked a firestorm that's exposing some uncomfortable truths about professionalism, ego, and the seismic shift happening in women's basketball right now. We're talking about DeWanna Bonner, a name that suddenly becomes synonymous with one of the most baffling and, frankly, childish displays of unprofessionalism we've seen in years. Buckle up, because this story is wild. For weeks, the Indiana Fever, a team now squarely in the spotlight thanks to a certain rookie superstar, had been hinting at personal reasons for veteran DeWanna Bonner's prolonged absence. The silence was deafening, the mystery palpable, but as it turns out, those personal reasons had very little to do with anything personal in the traditional sense, and everything to do with a bruised ego and a player who couldn't handle the heat. We're talking about a veteran who thought she was walking into a comfortable retirement home, where easy paychecks were guaranteed, and the spotlight was something she could bask in by association. What DeWanna Bonner thought she was signing up for when she joined the Fever in February was a nice, quiet franchise where she could gracefully slide into a starting role and coast through another season. Instead, she found a team completely transformed by the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Suddenly, the Fever were the most watched, most scrutinized, and most competitive environment in the entire WNBA. Remember, this is the same player who was initially embraced, celebrated for moving up the scoring ranks, even affectionately called Mama Bear in training camp. How quickly things can unravel, huh? The writing, it turns out, was etched on the wall from day one. But it seems Bonner was too blinded by her own expectations to read it. She started the first 3 games of the season, but her production was, to put it mildly, abysmal. We're talking an average of 2.6 points, shooting an embarrassing 2 of 12 from the field. 2 out of 12, that's not veteran leadership, that's veteran regression. Her minutes, understandably, started to plummet, and frankly, watching her on court, it was clear she looked slower, less energetic. The team desperately needed a spark she just wasn't providing. So, what did Coach Stephanie White do? The only logical thing any competent coach would. She made the tough but necessary decision to bench Bonner. Her replacement? Lexi Hull, a player who not only wanted to contribute to winning basketball but was actually doing it. Hull, a phenomenal three-point shooter, a sniper this season, hustles, gets rebounds, and plays with her heart out every single game. She earned that spot, pure and simple. And how did our seasoned veteran, the supposed leader, respond to this completely reasonable coaching decision? Like a spoiled child whose favorite toy just got snatched away. Instead of accepting the challenge, instead of working harder and proving she deserved her spot back, Bonner decided to take her ball and go home. She requested a trade, citing that the fit did not work out, which, in basketball code, is often a polite way of saying, I can't handle not being the center of attention. But here's where it gets truly jaw-dropping. Bonner didn't just quietly ask for a trade, she completely abandoned her team. She stopped showing up to games, citing those vague personal reasons, leaving her teammates hanging for 5 straight games. while she apparently pouted about her reduced role. The only personal reason here seems to be that her feelings got hurt when she realized she might not be good enough to start on a championship contender in a league that actually matters now. This isn't just about basketball ability. This is a story about character, and DeWanna Bonner's character was, to many, exposed as paper-thin the moment she faced real adversity. She signed up to be a veteran leader for a young team. But the moment that teams started getting the kind of unprecedented attention and pressure that comes with having a generational superstar like Caitlin Clark, she folded like a cheap suit. It seems she simply couldn't handle being on such a viral team. A team that overwhelmingly loves Caitlin Clark. Because, deep down, perhaps she wanted to be the star herself. The jealousy, to some, is almost embarrassingly obvious. So, the truth, DeWanna Bonner was, as some have put it, but hurt. Her ego was bruised and she decided to cry and leave. It's a shame, because if you're truly a team player, you accept that someone else might be performing better, you embrace being a role player, and you contribute however you can. At 37 years old, making a significant salary for a WNBA player, why not just ride it out? Be a mentor and enjoy the ride, unless, of course, there was a different motive. Instead of embracing the opportunity to be part of something truly special, she seems to have resented it. She resented that 17,000 fans weren't there to see her, they were there to see Caitlin Clark. She resented that every game was sold out, not because of her veteran presence, but because of a 22-year-old rookie who has already accomplished more for women's basketball than many veterans have in their entire careers. And this brings us to a bigger, often uncomfortable topic: the pressure from what some are calling the old guard of the WNBA. For years, this league has seen veteran players comfortable in their relative obscurity, content with playing in half-empty arenas for audiences consisting mainly of family members and die-hard fans. Then along comes Caitlin Clark, filling every arena, breaking television records, and suddenly everyone wants to know what the WNBA is all about. Instead of embracing this incredible opportunity, these bitter veterans, according to this perspective, saw it as a threat to their comfortable little world. The old guard, it's argued, couldn't stand that someone so young, so talented, and so marketable was making their league relevant for the first time in decades. They couldn't handle that their years of paying dues meant nothing when a rookie could walk in and immediately become the most important player in the sport. So, they allegedly did what insecure people often do: they tried to tear down the person who was making them look irrelevant, and DeWanna Bonner, who should have been a bridge between the old and new eras, instead seemingly chose to side with the perceived haters. Adding to the intrigue, Bonner's preferred destinations tell a story in themselves. She's reportedly trying to force a move back to the Phoenix Mercury, the team where she spent the first decade of her career, essentially running back to her comfort zone, a place where she can perhaps hide from the pressure of actually mattering. In this new WNBA landscape, the other rumored destination, the Atlanta Dream, a team that features Brittany Griner, who famously had that viral moment with Clark after fouling out. It seems Bonner is choosing to align herself with the elements of the WNBA that have made it clear they resent everything Caitlin Clark represents. And then, after weeks of bizarre speculation and no explanation after abandoning her team, she had the audacity to release a statement thanking the Indiana Fever, as if she's some gracious professional handling the situation with class. It's like someone burning down your house and then thanking you for the matches. You don't get to abandon your team, leave your teammates hanging, and then act like you're taking the high road. But here's the beautiful, almost poetic irony. In all of this, the Fever are actually better off without her. One less player who clearly couldn't handle the pressure of being on a team that actually matters. They've replaced her with someone who genuinely wants to be there, someone who appreciates the opportunity, and someone who will actually fight for the team rather than against it. Enter Ari McDonald, the player who's everything DeWanna Bonner apparently wasn't. When McDonald got her shot with the Fever on a hardship contract earlier this season, she didn't waste a single second feeling sorry for herself or complaining about her role. She averaged 11 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals in just 3 games, immediately becoming a fan favorite with her hustle, defense, and infectious energy. She played like someone who was grateful for the opportunity, not entitled to it. McDonald's story is the perfect contrast to Bonner's pathetic exit. Here's a player who was cut during training camp, left without a team, and could have easily given up. Instead, she brought a high-motor style and gritty defense that struck a chord with a fanbase desperate for players who would actually fight alongside their superstar rather than resent her success. She immediately understood what it meant to play for the Fever in the Caitlin Clark era. She didn't see Clark's success as a threat. She saw it as an opportunity to be part of something special. As Fever Koo and GM Amber Cox perfectly summed it up, Ari was a clear fit with the style and mentality we are building here with the Fever. That's exactly what Bonner never understood. And what about Natasha Howard, the other veteran who joined the Fever alongside Bonner? Howard's response to this entire situation has been telling. While she posted some cryptic messages on social media, the most important thing she did was stay. She didn't abandon her team when things got challenging. She didn't demand a trade when her role wasn't exactly what she expected. She stayed and fought, which is what professionals do. The contrast between Howard and Bonner is stark. Both players were brought in to provide veteran leadership, but only one of them truly understood what that meant. The WNBA has spent decades struggling for relevance, fighting for television coverage, begging for fan engagement. Then along comes a player who single-handedly solves all of those problems. And instead of celebrating, certain players and parts of the league decide to tear her down. It's professional jealousy at its most pathetic, and DeWanna Bonner in this narrative fell right into that trap. Bonner had every opportunity to be part of something historic. She could have been the veteran who helped guide a young superstar to a championship. Instead, she allegedly pulled one of the weakest moves in sports history and quit on the Indiana Fever. Not even halfway through the season, the Fever's quick move to replace Bonner with McDonald sends a clear message to the rest of the league. If you can't handle the pressure of being part of greatness, there are plenty of players who can. If you're not willing to fight for your spot, there are players who will appreciate the opportunity. If you're going to prioritize your feelings over team success, well, there's the door. The message is loud and clear. The WNBA is changing. It's no longer just about coasting, it's about fighting for your spot, embracing the spotlight, and truly contributing to something bigger. And as for DeWanna Bonner, well, the Fever have moved on to players who want to be part of this incredible new chapter. What do you make of this wild situation? Was it professional regression or something deeper? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you were hooked by this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of celebrity and sports.